Suck our dicks! Yeah! Suck our dicks! Suck our dicks!
It's a classy way I start my show.
Suck our dicks! It just doesn't matter! Suck our dicks! It just doesn't matter! I tell you, it just doesn't matter! It just doesn't matter! It just doesn't matter! It just doesn't matter! It just doesn't matter!
I was going to say welcome to Cluster F. No, it's welcome to the Mike and Matt Show. How's everybody doing?
What's up, Mike?
What's going on, Matt? I have an ice cold Corona in a bottle which I'm not allowed to have in the studio. I've been forbade from my own studio because twice I have doused the board with alcohol and destroyed it.
What are you just having a freak out?
Yeah, because I'll, you know me a long time. I'll set the beer here. I'm not paying attention to nothing. I'm thinking stuff in my head, and then I go,
knock it over.
"Wham!" And then one time I did that, and I picked it up and went, "Oh my god!" And then I like just it looked like it. They were like, "Why are you pouring more beer on the board?" I was like, "I don't know. It just happened." So that's the name of the show, Cluster F.
Well, I guess it's I guess it's a special occasion then for you to be allowed with glass in
I'm
here.
just going to be very careful. You listen to the Mike and Matt Show, two radio icons.
Oh.
Radio icon. You listen to me right here, Matt Lloyd. Our resume is unimpeachable. It's unimpeachable. If you look at our resume, we worked for two of the top 5 radio guys ever to be in radio. Bubba the Love Sponge and Howard Stern. And we were pretty big in those organizations. We were pretty important cogs, in those wheels.
I mean, I never really thought about it. I just got up early and went to work.
I never thought about it.
You
And
know?
our track record of success, our pedigree, Matt, our pedigree.
I would say your pedigree. You got a great pedigree. I mean,
Hey, man, you were there with Sirius. You were on the Bubble Paloozas. You were, performing in front of thousands of people.
Yeah.
I mean, you were the Proj, whatever that means. It's not even a word. Not even a short for a word. That'd be like if it was called the prodigal son, but it's not. It's the prodigal son. So you'd be the prod.
I didn't even know what that even meant when I was called. I was like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, the prod. But yeah, you're big time, buddy. We're big time.
Oh man, it's good to see you.
We used to always do shows. When the old boss would be out, and he missed quite a few days, which is fine. I enjoy missing work as well. But we'd do a show, and we'd always get a really good response from the fans, and it's so natural. Like me and you do a show. It was like, what do you want to talk about? And we'd have one subject, and then we'd just go.
Yes.
And it was always a good show. It was really always a good show when we did one. It was usually like me, you, sometimes 25 Cent. I don't know who else would have been. Brent,
Right.
Brent, for his role, he was, the guy for that role.
Right.
He was the guy for that role.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he was, and I think he's kind of a dick to me, and I never did nothing to him.
I don't even know.
We don't want to get into that, probably. Boy, that's a whole can of worms.
Oh
man.
my God, I don't know what's going on. I don't. That's the thing. Like, okay, let me just set this up from the top. I don't I don't really like. I think I've said this to you in the past. Like social media and all that stuff. For me, at this stage of my life, it's a spectator sport. I don't want to participate in it. I don't want to be involved
the best.
in it. Yeah, so like it's a spectator sport. So like if you're somebody who's gonna say something, but chances are I'm probably just not gonna see it because I've got a burner account. That's where I look at stuff from.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like
That's smart.
Yeah, so that
Smart.
way I keep things positive and moving forward, and it's stuff that I'm interested in, stuff like that. But yeah, so it's a total spectator sport. But then there's certain things that you can't ignore in that whole realm. And like the Brent's wife thing is one thing that I was like, what is going on here? And I don't even know. I let everybody live their life. As long as everybody's I'm just in a place of positivity. God, that sounds so dumb.
To me, it was just so bizarre how you go from this to full blown. It's
What do
like
you mean?
it'd be like if I started an OnlyFans
Yeah.
for the villages, for older gentlemen who like to, guys, buff guys like me in shape
Sure.
in my latter years, and I went right to like sticking things up my butt.
No easing in the bathtub. Just going right in.
Not
Just-
even shirtless. No tasteful ass shots. I just went right to, here we go. I got a 7. Here we go.
Just turning the jacuzzi up to 170, just diving right on
And
in,
that's
man.
I was like, he's gonna do this on Twitch. He's gonna do this. No, and that didn't work out. Me and my wife are gonna do things on the internet.
Yeah, I
Bad
don't.
things on the internet with strangers.
Yeah, that's my thing. I don't know anything. I just find it's like, okay, so I'm on the outside looking in all this stuff now. Like I don't even want to be on the inside. I don't want to be anywhere near the inside of the room or the glass. I'm on the outside looking in. I don't mind that. Like again, spectator sport. I'm not here to, really bash anybody. It's more comical to me now than anything. I mean,
It's really foolish.
like I
'cause
haven't dealt with anybody in that orbit. You're the only one I dealt with in that orbit for literally like a decade, right?
Yeah.
Like 10 years or something. Like I'm beyond that. But it's pretty funny.
It's like it's so it's the most frustrating thing. Like when you're dealing with trolls, and you're like, someone will say something like blah blah blah, and it's just like stupid stuff. Like a real juvenile. There's someone who doesn't know how to insult you well, and
Yeah.
you're like, well, let me just own this guy 18 ways to Sunday and tell him to F off. And you own him, and you send it, and he comes back and goes, blue, 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 I really got you. And and you go back and forth a few times and go, there's no way to beat them because they're too dumb to know they got. And that's not fun to only they don't know they got.
Yes, but that's also why like I just stopped engaging.
Yeah, that's what I don't do it. I try not to do it. Every once in a while, I get sucked in, but I don't because it's waste of time. But you know what the problem is? Back in the day, Matt, you go to the bar and some guy would argue with you, and he'd say something stupid, and you'd come back and call him out on it, and everybody would laugh at him and point at him and go, "Yeah, you're totally wrong. He owns you." There's none of that. You live in your own world.
No, you can't. Even if you go to the bar now, and nobody's even talking to one another. They're on their phones, or here's what I don't like. I don't like when they do that thing where you see that move where they'll take a picture of somebody, like sitting at a table, 3 tables down, and they'll be like, and then they'll post a picture and be like, can you believe this person's wearing this outfit in here? It's like that person didn't do anything. Like they're just hanging out, having a meal at Applebee's. Like, why are you like taking it upon like the people that film people in the gym
Yeah.
working out or making fun of how they do their workout or equipment? Like that's kind of lame.
But that's
to me.
But a lot of people do it.
They do. But it makes me hesitant to go to the gym because I'm going, am I doing this right?
So you got people looking for TikTok moments in the gym.
Yes.
And you've got people setting up to do their TikTok workout because that's what people want to see. They want to see your workout, Matt. You need to film your workout on TikTok and go, and hey, and then I do 3 sets of these.
That is a weird move. What? That is a weird
Nobody
move.
gives a shit about your workout.
That is a weird move about taping your workout, and they do it every day consistently. And it's like from a camera angle that's down on the floor. Like, and I don't want to be in the gym when somebody's doing that either. To be honest with you, like I thought the gym or any of those places were kind of like, I don't know,
Sacred place.
sacred territory.
For working out on, you go to the gym, you do your business, and
Right.
you go. You don't dance. You don't film videos.
I mean, in all fairness, when I would go and there'd be the elliptical in front of me, am I going to go where the hot chick is doing the elliptical in front of me as opposed to like, the fat guy? Yeah, probably. I'm going to set up camp behind the hot girl, right? And at least I got a good view.
Well, then you got to watch out because she's taping in the mirror
guy's a
you
creep.
looking at me. He's looking right at my ass. And she's got on these she got a big ass and she's got these yoga pants on.
Camel toe.
I mean, just sucked right onto her ass. And she's like, I can't believe these guys are looking at me. I'm just trying to work out.
Dude, they have those yoga pants now, and they're not. They've got fake asses in them. Have you seen those?
No, I have not.
Okay, so it's the same idea of the yoga pants, which I do enjoy. I get that, right? There's a certain female
Yoga pants, real quick. Yeah, we're in the middle of a hype train, but it's about Mike and Matt tonight. And we're not. I'd like to make money, but I can't.
Oh, you can make money?
I can't stop the showdown for a hype train. That's a 10-minute deal.
It's a 10-minute
and we're-
deal?
and we're just rolling, man.
Well, it's up to you. I don't know. I don't
Well,
know nothing about nothing.
you guys can. You can feel free to cheer or have
Hype it
a
up.
hype train later in the week.
Oh.
We're talking yoga. We're talking yoga pants.
Well,
man.
you don't want me to get my 10%? My 10% of the hype train?
It was 8.
No, so 60%. So the yoga pants, they've got ones that have got a fake built-in ass. Okay, so now the girls have not only got the fake lashes. Okay.
Oh, I mean, the ridiculous size. Ridiculous size.
Wait,
lash.
go from head to toe. Fake hair.
Fake
right?
hair. Yeah, a lot.
Then you move just 3 inches down. Right now you got fake lashes.
No. You missed it.
What did I miss?
Well, come on, Matt.
Oh, the
Have you
eyebrows.
seen some of
That's
this
right.
eyebrow shit?
Oh, everybody's permanently surprised. Yes.
Yeah, it's like, is that real? Is it painted on? Is it tattoos? What is it? Is it hair? I don't even know. It's like, how do they make your eyebrows do that?
And now they've got a thing called eyebrow gel, where the girls, the new trend is they like to put gel on and point them straight upwards, which is the weirdest goddamn thing I've ever seen. The eyebrows are literally just straight up. It's weird.
I guess they want to be. They're like circus performers.
So we got hair,
Eyebrows,
lashes,
then
nose job on some,
yeah,
filler, Botox on
Botox
most,
for sure.
fake lips,
And
right?
and you're not talking old people either.
No, they're
You're
like
talking
23.
23. It's yeah, both. I mean, the collagen kind of deal.
Yep. See the lips.
Many times to ridiculous proportions.
Then you move down a little bit. Now they've got Botox to prevent underarm sweat too. All right.
You don't
Then-
sweat.
you don't sweat.
Reasonable, yeah. God didn't mean for you to sweat.
No, they want you to shoot rat poison under your pits to prevent you
Yeah.
from sweating.
And mustard gas in your face.
Yeah, God forbid you sweat a little bit. Then you move, obviously you got fake boobs. Then you move down to the inevitable tummy area, whatever's going on there, tummy tucks, I don't know, cool sculpting, whatever. And then you go to labiaplasties. Is that what it's called?
It is.
Okay.
Labiaplasty.
Asshole bleaching. Right? You forgot about that.
That's
one.
old school.
That is old school.
I remember when girls would just bleach their assholes. Back in my day.
Good old days.
Why this labiaplasty?
And then you moved out to the fake nails, right? And then the fake toenails. And I think that's it. But there's probably something we're missing. And then the fake asses.
That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to spend on yourself.
I was watching was it Hoarders? No, not Hoarders. One of those, TLC network has all that weird. Every show they have on their network's weird, whether it's Hoarders or 90 Day Fiance, all that stuff, right?
That garbage.
That garbage.
garbage
The
stuff.
mindless TV, which
Mindless TV.
sometimes you got to watch a little bit of. It just, not everything can be serious. But they had one, and the girl on there said she'd spent over $1 million in plastic surgery. She was like 50 or so, something like that. But I'm going, where do you even get the money to do that?
I know.
Like, how does that even work?
$1 million.
And she didn't even look that great.
Well,
I mean, $1 million, you better look like $1 million.
It's almost like an illness because you'll have the cat women, and you're like, they actually, their face is swollen. They look like a Klingon or a cat. And they're like, they look in the mirror and they think they look fantastic.
Yes.
And it's like, you're actually a monster. You've turned yourself into a
Into
monster.
a ghoul.
Yeah. And they
The case of the Botox ghoul.
they look in the mirror and go, great, I guess. They can't talk because their lips are, right. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know.
It is very strange.
Correlates to an experiment. I'll give you the real Cliff Notes version. This one scientist, he put these rats.
Hold on, is this a legit thing?
This is a legit thing. I read about it to make sure. I researched it because Trace told me, and sometimes he's right, sometimes he's wrong.
Okay.
So he put these 25 rats in a self-contained thing, gave them everything they need. They had everything they needed. They didn't have to, hunt for food or anything. And after a few months, he noticed the rats changing. They formed groups, and then they started to not get along. Then after like 3 months, the males didn't want to have sex anymore. And they became like real. They just lounged around. They're just like real carefree males. And the women became, didn't want to breed, and they killed their young when they had them. And in the end, after like 9 months to a year, every rat was dead. and he repeated it 25 times and had the same result every time
Really?
because they had no purpose in life. And I think that's what we're being. I think that's what I think that's what they're doing to us. They saw the rat experiment and went, "Oh, that's how you do it."
It's interesting theory. I mean, that's
Because nobody's having kids. Men aren't men. They sit on they play video games.
oh man, the video game thing.
I mean, I've seen on the internet lately guys, you cut holes in their chair so they can poop while they're playing video games.
For
And
real?
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Jesus Christ.
How nasty. How nasty.
Do they have a trademark on that? They got a poop shoot in the video game chair?
It's got a poop chute and a tube for the penis so you can, urinate.
That's again.
That's a serious game. I mean, I don't think if you say, we got to pause, guys, I think they're like, fuck you, we're going to kill you.
Yeah,
right?
they're just going. Yeah, they're going. There's no stopping.
I got to pee.
Because if you didn't have to get up and pee or go poop,
Yeah.
why would you ever get up if you're like that's the only two things that you have to worry about doing.
So you just outlast everybody. He's going, that guy peed, get him.
It's a game of attrition, my friend.
It's a dirty game.
It's a dirty game of
Dirty
attrition.
game.
I don't know that the video game stuff. I went to Best Buy a couple weeks ago, and I don't really, I don't get out of the house much, honestly.
I don't either.
I don't. Why? Like, where am I going?
Why?
Like,
Why? Oh, I don't want to show this, buddy.
what?
Oh, I don't want to show that.
Oh, oh,
I was looking for this.
oh, yeah.
This is what I was looking for.
Oh, yeah, that's great. So good.
You see,
Yeah, forget the video game stuff. This is
no, we don't have to. If we got more video game stuff,
no. By all means, this is. Trump is cracking me up these days.
it's like to me, it's just bizarre and it's insane that we no longer can if Trump says something funny to half the population, it's not funny, but it should just be funny because it's funny. Half of the people have lost their sense of humor. It's like,
Yeah, but
I don't
like,
care who says something funny. I'm gonna laugh at it.
You're right. However, I don't like people in Putin, right? Now, whether they love him or hate him, they respect his authority, right? They respect his authority.
Absolutely.
There's no like if
Send
you
the KGB to your house and kill your mom.
right, you get out of line, he's throwing poison in your underwear while you're on a plane. There's little things like that.
Radiation in your Mai Tai.
Which is a great gag. I mean,
It is
poison in the underwear.
I mean, it's slowly die and have no idea.
that's
And nobody believes that you had poison underwear. They're like, get out of here.
and Putin's back there, ha ha ha,
With no shirt on.
Yeah,
No shirt on.
riding horseback. But people respect Putin, at least in terms of that.
Yeah.
With Trump, there's the comedy's respected, but not in that position of power. Perhaps that's not the best place for it. The best forum.
I would rather have that comedy. I don't want to get political at all because I haven't voted in 20 years. I'd rather have the comedy though than the the frailty. I don't. You talk about not having a good image to the world.
You mean like him versus a Biden?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like, see, this has nothing to do with politics. It's like if you want a leader to be a strong
leader.
You want him to be coherent and you just shake that hand.
Yes.
Boy, how the rest of the world has to be like mocking us right now. And I don't want to get political. It's not political. You used to be able to call them like you see them.
Yes.
No, you can't do that anymore. People are like, you're this way. No, I'm just looking at this old guy going,
Well, it's the same. It's the same thing where you don't want a president who's completely out of shape, right? Like you want a strong leader.
like Chris Christie.
Yes. Like you don't want Chris. He's too fat to be. He's too fat to win.
In my opinion, he's too fat to be president.
That's just the way. Like he's just not.
You're not gonna get a world leader. He's got that muffin top kind of deal. He's got that weird
It's
fat
a crazy shape.
where he wears his belt up here and he's like a big weeble kind of thing. And it's like I don't think that's getting respect around the country.
No.
I mean around the world.
I never understood the purpose of suspenders until recently. When I'm like losing my ass and I'm like, and they pull these up and then they're sliding down and I'm going, man, so this is what suspenders are for. That or if you're Chris Christie and you got too much ass.
Well, yeah, usually it's you don't have enough ass. I mean,
That's
why I do one-legged squats in the bathroom. I don't want to wear suspenders one day. No, I refuse.
In the bathroom?
Before I take a shower in my underwear. So I should just film it and put it on OnlyFans. See, I'm doing this, working hard, trying to great content. The guy who does naked one-legged squats probably gets $1,000 a week.
Probably.
For 30 seconds of work a night.
Or if you're a tubby fella like Chris Christie, right? Like what's stopping him from being less obese? Like what's stopping him? Like he hasn't really. I don't even think he has a job right now, does he? Like
he has no willpower.
Like, so how can you have the willpower to run a country and like make sure things are going effective if you can't control your own, weight?
That's like like putting somebody who's declared bankruptcy 8 times in charge of your finances. Well, this guy he can't even fit into a pair of pants. He want to run the country? He can't run his own body.
But does that necessarily equate to,
I don't know,
or is it the thing of going, yeah, I don't have time to lose weight. I'm busy running the country. Like that would be a good, excuse.
Take Ozempic, shit your pants for a few months, and look like
Is that what it does?
Yeah, it's like you drop the weight like that.
Because it makes you just
crap
an extreme amount.
Some people say it makes them throw up, it makes them poop the bed, but it really loses the weight.
Sounds like a nightmare.
I drop that weight, buddy.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Oh God, I can't even imagine. You gotta wear a diaper.
Just pooping and vomiting yourself all day.
But to me, but think about it. Say you're like a 50-year-old guy.
Yeah.
And you're like 60 pounds overweight, and your body is you can't exercise as much as you want. You can do a little walk and do this, but to lose the weight, it's going to be a couple years, 2-3 years. Instead, you go on Ozempic for like 4 or 5 months, poop it all out.
I mean, that's a pretty good cheat code.
It paralyzes your stomach.
Look, for
so
so
you don't
long,
get hungry.
That's pretty genius. I mean, for so long, like
It doesn't sound right.
See, because you're skinny, like you don't. It doesn't have an effect on you because you're skinny. You've never had to face the battles of some of these obese people.
I don't blame them.
So
I don't blame them.
yeah, if somebody's like, hey, skinny pill. Like they were. I read an article the other week on Drudgery. They're talking about this pill that's literally a pill that's eventually going to happen, and it's supposed to make you not even like the Ozempic shots. Talking like a pill. I think I'd be tempted to take the pill. Like,
I don't think anything that like is going to help somebody who's morbidly obese lose weight. It doesn't matter really what the side effects because they're going to die anyway. So I say go for all that. Like remember Ephedra? That's
of course I remember Ephedra.
What a scam that was. Back on the old show.
Oh my God.
We're talking when we were at
Nutty Rock.
Gandy,
yeah.
Gandy Boulevard, and they had Ephedra drinks, and
Yep.
we were, I mean,
Crushing 'em.
We're all addicted to this Ephedra drink, and it really, you wanted to have a go-getter day. You take some of that Ephedra, and that stuff worked like a charm, and it was natural.
Yes, and then there was also that stuff called what was it?
Like HG.
Yeah, it was like Revitalize. Like I can't remember the exact name of the product, but yeah, it was basically
it was a date rape drug, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like Rohypnol or something like
was
that.
something
But
like that.
it was packaged in the form of like for bodybuilders and to help you get sleep. Like so, you would find the stuff on the GNC shelves, and it's like, no, it's not date rape drug at all. It's just for bodybuilders to help you get sleep. And then people would, but that stuff was laying all over the place, and and then that got quickly ousted off the market
Because it was a date rape drug.
I think that's
But the
good reason.
Ephedra was, totally effective. It's like, so they had a natural stunt, 100% natural, totally effective, and like 2 people had heart attacks or something, and they pulled it. You know how many people die from these prescription drugs?
Oh my God.
Just as many as died from, way more than died from Ephedra.
Oh, for
so
sure.
They don't want you to have something effective. You can lose weight and have energy. Big Farm don't want that.
Well, it's like energy drinks. I still drink energy drinks, even though I know that those things, dude,
They're
my
terrible
body's
for you.
not only that, my body's way beyond that. Like those aren't phasing me anymore. I've
Yeah.
been, that's not even doing anything, but it's more of a psychological thing now where I'm going, okay, I got to get my daily, Monster Energy drink or whatever. Right. And I know I shouldn't do it. It's not healthy on any level.
Daily Monster.
Not daily, but almost. It depends on how lazy I am if I want to go to the store or not.
I used to drink them. I could only have half of one a day, but I would have half of one a day because I get there at 6 in the morning.
Half of one. You sound like it's such a chick thing to say.
Half of one, and just because you sit down there and you get ready for the 4 hours ahead, and you
Yeah.
want just a little bubbly orange monster.
Yeah,
it
what
makes
a
you happy.
caramel colored thing.
It makes you happy, So I would do that. I knew it wasn't good for me.
And it's false, and I don't. It's all like I don't know how well, but I mentally I think it's having an effect on me, but practically it's probably not.
Yeah, it's probably bad.
What's the next drug to get banned? Because there's like for a while there was the salvias of the world. Now there's the Delta 8s of the world, and if you go into a head shop, have you seen the Delta 8 stuff or whatever?
I've been to the stores that sell just like the Delta 8, and I really don't understand. Does it get you high just like weed? I find it hard to believe that it does.
There's a place up here not far from us where we are right now, and they have a bakery, and it's all
Delta 8 edibles.
Yeah, all edibles, but they don't really. They tell you they kind of get around the language, right? So I'm going, if they had any sort of true marijuana, they would not be open right now. Like, what's going on here? But we went in there, we bought a cookie. I felt a very minimal amount of anything, but I don't know if that's anything against that place, but the Delta 8, I think it's just like one molecule or something away from
THC.
The true stuff, which eventually you got to figure the government's going to go, like, or
something will happen.
Something's going to happen where they're going to go, hey, wait a second here. We're trying to legalize marijuana. It'd be great if the marijuana folks are going, hey, we've been working a really long time on this lobby. Now you guys can't just slide in here with your Delta 8.
I don't blame them.
I can't blame them either. I don't know. I'm sure it's coming.
Yeah, they never let anything it's like spice. They had spice was legal, right,
Yep.
for a year or two. I don't remember, but for a while everybody was smoking this spice.
What was that?
Which was pesticides sprayed on potpourri leaves.
That's what it was?
Pretty much.
Oh my God.
It was all bad. The spice is all bad. And then they banned it and outlawed it. So they'll do that to Delta 8 under this pass a law says,
Well, but then again, alcohol is not good for you. You know what I mean? Like it's not good for you. We know it.
No.
Like we know it's not good for you, but we still do it. And the only reason they haven't banned it is because it's too big to fail. Essentially.
Yeah, I don't think
the horse is out of the barn on that.
You can't prohibition. You ban alcohol with 330 million people and over 100 million drink alcohol. It's going to be chaos, because people are going to find ways to make alcohol.
Yeah, they
everybody
make that terrible mash, and they try to. Like a buddy of mine tries to make moonshine, and God bless him, he's just not getting it right. But it's like, why would you risk? Like, there's a perfectly good liquor store, like a block away, dude. There's no need to have a vat of mash and try to do this perfect formula and try to create this moonshine when you just go up to ABC Liquor. Just go get
get $20 on you and you get a big old thing of moonshine.
Instead, he's got a whole system worked out. And I'll go, how's it going along? He goes, it didn't work out that time. Like, still not right. I'm like, how long are you going to sit and do this mash?
All right. Well, we got to get to this Donald Trump. We're not endorsing Donald Trump, but sometimes he makes us laugh, and I don't know why people can't admit that. That's, to me, you're a broken person if you can't laugh at Donald Trump.
Who's good? No, Christie's he's eating right now. He can't be bothered.
Oh, it's like he says what everybody's thinking.
Sir, please do not call him a fat pig. That's very disrespectful. Don't call
I think
him.
that guy didn't call him a fat pig.
No, classic passive behavior, comedic timing at its peak.
I mean, it's brilliant.
See, I'm trying to be nice. Don't call him a fat pig. You can't do it. You can't do that. So now, because you're not allowed to do that, and therefore we're not going to do it, okay? We want to be very civil, right? So
And the best part
Oh, my
is,
God.
he's not even a clean bill of health himself. Like, he's
No,
fat.
he's
He's
definitely
just
fat.
skinny compared to Chris Christie. Like, he's
I mean, Chris Christie is just
morbidly
I mean,
obese.
he's bad. You know, there's bad fat. You know, I've seen plenty of videos of really fat guys
Yeah.
doing trampoline stuff and dunking basketballs. Then you got Chris Christie's like something out of Willy Wonka, man. You know,
Yes.
it's like he's embarrassing fat.
There was
I'm
always
sorry.
that. Yeah, no, you're right. And there was always that girl on the bottom of the pyramid in the high school cheerleading who was never going to be at the top of the pyramid because she was too big to hoist her up there, right? But she was still flexible. She still had a little. She could do the leg kick. She could still like have some motion.
I've seen a lot of Trace calls it fat magic.
Fat
I've seen
magic.
I've seen a lot of fat guys, and you're like, man, that guy was skinny. He'd be playing in the NFL.
There is something to be said for that. Or when you see a fat guy playing basketball and they can really ball it up, and you're going, how are they even dribbling between their legs? Like, it really is. It's fat magic. That's a good term for it.
And just think, if you lost the weight, so like you're like 320 pounds, 350 pounds, and you're running up and down the court. I mean, you're literally squatting 120 extra pounds for an entire basketball game. Your legs are like tree trunks if you just lose that weight.
And what's up with fat people? They don't grow hair on their legs. I feel like they don't grow hair on their legs.
No.
Is that something to do with the pores, or like, is it clog up your?
Their body needs every ounce of energy just to keep it going with all that cholesterol and everything. The hair, they're like, you just have the rest of the time off hair.
Like, I'm dead serious, and I just thought of it now. I don't even.
I don't know.
It's just a high thought.
Maybe it just rubs off all the friction.
I don't know. I feel
All the
like
friction.
next time you see a really gigantic
Look at
fat
their legs.
person, I feel like Buffalo Bill and South. Fat person. Look at their legs. There's like no hair growth.
Closely. Let's go up closely and observe their legs.
Stunted hair growth on the legs and perhaps the arms.
Oh, have you ever seen a fat person who's got
What is he doing? I Spy? I Spy, a really big fat person.
Yeah. Ever seen a big fat person and they've got,
A big gigantic fat person.
they've got circulation problems because they're way too fat, and their calves look like they're gonna explode. They're like purple.
Yeah, the
And they're-
veins are purple.
And there's like, you're like, stand back, kids. This thing is like, it's
It's gonna blow in any
gonna
minute.
blow in any second. And they're like, doing their job, their checkout job or whatever. And you're like, how do you stand up all day on those things?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Or the
Bluey.
or the fat people that you see in the grocery store, and they got the carts, and they're just real. I mean, those carts aren't exactly fast, right? So they're just moving super slow, but you can't quite get around them. So now you're stuck behind, just while they're taking their sweet time. And I get there's probably a good reason for 90% of them to be the way they are. Right? Fine, whatever. I'll take that.
That's you're a little high on that.
50% of the people,
Okay,
40,
getting closer,
30%.
getting closer. You ever see the South Park episode? That perfectly explains it.
I don't know if I have or not. I love that damn show, though.
Yeah, I mean, some is so brilliant. And they say whatever they want
Yeah.
because you're not gonna try to cancel Trey Parker and Matt Stone. You're digging your own grave.
Yes.
So they can do whatever they want. There's very few people that can do that, but there are some people who are so good that they don't get canceled.
It's true. Perhaps Trump might be one of them. I don't know.
I mean, to me,
They got him on RICO charges, dude.
It's
RICO.
I mean, it's almost like it's a work, and Trump's in on it. He's just playing the game. They're like, and this is what's going to happen, and then you're going to lose, and then you spend the next 2 years, people are going to love you, and you're going to make speeches, and then we're going to indict you. Don't worry, you're not going to prison. And everything, I don't know what's going on. I've never seen this kind of shit in my life.
I don't know if it ever existed. It's never been like this, or at least not to my recollection. I mean, growing up, I was, it was Reagan. It was Reagan, then Bush, and so on and so forth.
It was, everybody, still the people were divided, and they, if you didn't vote for George W. Bush, you didn't like him. Like I railed against the Republicans back then, because I didn't want to go to a war with Iraq and do all that bullshit.
People loved Reagan because he had jelly beans on his desk. That was think about how
He's talked like this, and people like cracked some jokes. He's a jovial old
And
man.
he was an actor, and he loved jelly beans.
I see it.
That was a big to do.
Yeah, I mean that everybody knew Nixon loved jelly beans. I think like Biden is president because nobody's mad at Joe Biden because he's a feeble old man. He does whatever he wants, and people are like, well, that's he's old Joe.
What do you think of guys like Jimmy Kimmel, who are hardcore like Biden supporters? Because I think I saw him on Kimmel like a couple weeks ago or something like that. And it was just like like a kiss ass interview kind of. I mean, not that they're going to hit him with anything crazy, but Kimmel, like, I don't know. I just go back to like the Man Show when him and Adam Carolla were doing their thing, and I thought that was like really funny and interesting. And I was younger and whatever, but like that was fun to me. And now, like, I feel like it's a completely different game with that guy. And you have to look at you have to look at it and go,
you're right.
You have to look at it and go, is that Kimmel, or did the establishment get to him, or like has he just changed his views?
I think they're bought and paid for. I mean, when you're making that, like what do these guys make? Like $20-30 million a year.
Yeah.
These late night guys. And CBS comes to, what's that guy over there?
The other guy.
He used to be on
Colbert. Colbert, yeah.
And they say, look, we want you to be really pro-vaccine because Pfizer, this. So we get you want your $30 million? And he's going to go, I mean, I'm making $30 million a year. I don't know if I'm not going, whatever. He's making $30 million a year.
But do you think they actually believe it, though?
I don't think they do.
See,
or maybe they delude themselves.
That's what
'Cause when you're not doing what you know is right, you delude yourself.
And you're in Hollywood, and you're surrounded by people who are traditionally like-minded as far as that thinking goes, right? So now you're in this vacuum of the same thought process as you, and nobody's around you to give you a differing opinion or able to offer you a different opinion, or you're not really going to take it in to account. You're going to
if you hear it's so you're getting your news feed of everything you want, so you just you believe in your own hype, and you don't want to be wrong.
And then you get
nobody wants to be wrong.
You get stuck in that character, and you're living that character, and then
make you kind of right.
It's crazy. I don't know, man.
It's hard. You think. Well, if I'd been making $20 million for 10 years like these guys, and they told me what to do, I'd tell them to fuck off. Or maybe I wouldn't. I don't know.
I'd make it for a year, and then I'd go, well, I guess I'm good to retire now. Like, how much does one person need? Like, I don't even understand that.
Actually, I think I would. I think I would just quit. Because when we were working for Sirius. That's all the money I ever needed to make. For me, I never needed to make more money. Mm-hmm. I'm not making late night talk show host money.
Right.
1 year at 20 mil, and I'm like, you ain't telling me nothing because I'll just quit.
Yeah,
I got 18 million in the bank.
I always look at those CEOs of the Bob Igers of the world, and all these guys, right? I think Elon Musk is a different character because I think he's just a different sort of human person. Yeah,
he thinks differently.
Right. But some of these CEOs and guys, I mean, they're making $25 million a year, and they're sticking around to the age of 60 something. And it's like, they've been making $25 million a year for however long. Like, at what point do you go, you know what? I'm stressed out now. I think I'm going to retire and tap out. And even if it's a BS excuse of why, right? And why you're retiring, and say it's health issues, whatever it is, just tap out. If you got a couple $100 million, just go. Why would you stay?
It's never enough. Like, Bezos built that 500-foot yacht, but they had to tear down a bridge to get out, of where they built it, because he has to have the biggest yacht. So you got to keep making that money so you can go to space and be it's a disease.
Okay. So
it's not about the money. It's just about the power it brings, and they can't give it up.
So along the Bezos thing, and I mean, I know you and your wife have a great relationship and everything like that, but like, do you find his wife attractive?
I haven't seen that many pictures of her, but
I do. I think she's...
for Bezos, but he's rich, so...
Yeah, but I mean in general, like I mean, I don't know. Looks like she's built for sex. Like, you know what I mean? Like some girls just have like a body, and she's probably I don't know, 50, something like that. But she's just like
She wormed her way in there.
I
think I
guess.
could be built for sex if you offer me like $1 billion, man.
I
I
wish
love
I
you
could,
a long time.
Hold on. Let me see. You really let me see
I've
if I can.
seen her. I don't know if I was like, I mean, I was thinking, yeah, she's with him because he's got billions of dollars.
I mean, I know it's so superficial, but like if you compare her to like his ex-wife or whatever, you're kind of like going, all right, he clearly made his billions, tapped out on that marriage and was like, all right, I'm good. I'm gonna go ahead and level up now.
Yeah, I've been a dork all my life.
Yeah, so now I'm gonna get with
can
this.
Get with anybody I want.
I mean, just look at it.
Yeah. He's going,
I mean, she's built
she's
for-
like, he's got $150 billion and he's married to
A toy.
a porn star, a trophy
A
wife.
porn
That's
star.
a porn star.
A porn star, you say? Yeah.
See, let's see it long. I mean, so Matt, is he married? Or is that just his girlfriend?
I think they're married or they're at least engaged.
I mean, that's gonna be like that's gonna be an ironclad prenup for sure. I mean, because is it his last wife that took like half his fortune?
Yeah,
and
but
she
I-
became like one of the richest people in the world.
She did, but then she started giving stuff away. Which,
Yeah.
if you're him, you gotta be like, all right, so hold on now, wait a second. So I made all this. Yeah, you're with me on the ride, but I made all this. Now you're gonna we get divorced. You get half, and then you're gonna go ahead and give away a large portion of that half. That's like a giant middle finger to Bezos. That's the way I look at it. Now it's very kind of her.
Yeah, I mean, maybe,
It is sort of a middle finger.
maybe she's just not materialistic and she wants to do good with that money. Nah, she wants to piss off Bezos.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's pretty. It's a pretty gangster move. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's the Mike and Matt show for anybody who's paying attention. We just been gabbing like two schoolgirls, Matt.
Oh well, you know.
But that's like I can remember one time. This is over at Lemon Street. And so me, you, Donna, and Melanie, we went out to dinner. Mm-hmm. And they're like, we're going to go by the studio, and we're going to do the Mike, Donna, Matt, and Melanie show. And
Okay.
we recorded like an hour or so, or 2 hours, and we hung out. And then the next day we go into the show, and we had a couple highlights. And so they're playing it. You want to talk about torture? You don't remember this? There was complete silence because the boss man didn't like the fact that we did a show and had fun.
Gotcha,
and
yes.
had chemistry.
Yeah.
And we had to listen to like a 5-minute torture because nobody was going to laugh at it. It was humiliating.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't remember that entirely, but I do. She passed away.
I heard that.
Yeah, and I didn't even know it for like a long time. Like it was weird. I don't. Again, social media, all that stuff. I just don't really
Yeah.
participate much or whatever. But like, I guess when you get like, there's like Facebook Messenger or something like that. But then there's messages of like people that might be hidden where you maybe don't get messages from as much. You have to approve them or something like that. So like, this is years back, and I'm going through these messages. I'm going, oh man, all these people have at some point in time reached out. I feel terrible. I haven't, I don't even know what's going on. But like her dad reached out and said something. And I'm going, well, she's been dead like a year and a half. Like, do I write back and go,
Yeah.
sorry to hear?
Let me evoke some old memories for you.
Right, but it's
Or you just look like a heel.
I think
don't know.
I ended up. Yeah, there's no way I could have come
mean,
out that looking.
You guys weren't that like super. Were you? I mean, how long was that relationship?
Oh God, it felt like an eternity. I mean, for it literally, but I mean, a few years. But at that age, like that's a pretty long time, off and on, and But there was definitely some. I mean, was Donna your high school sweetheart? Or?
No. Like I think I was like 21 when we met.
I mean, that's so
That's a long time.
That's so crazy.
a long time.
To go through the way somebody's brain thinks when they're that age to now, and then have somebody who's willing to take that journey on both ends.
You know, I mean, I've told Donna before. It's like it's amazing that we found two people who can tolerate each other for 40 years. You know, that's a long time.
That's insanity.
To tolerate anybody, a relative, a friend, any. You know, it's like live with somebody for 40 years.
You ever get sick of each other to the point where you guys both know, and not in a bad way, not where it's like fighting, but like where if you just want to watch a TV show where like she just knows, or like there's that like presence of going, you know what, I'm gonna leave him alone.
Oh yeah, sure.
Like tonight's not the night. I'm gonna go snuggle up on him, kind of thing.
Yeah, every once in a while.
When's the last time you guys fought? Like
Fought?
Yeah, like
Not.
when's the last time you hit her?
It's been a couple of years since.
Years since you hit her.
I mean, we used to like have. It's been in this house, so it's probably about 20 years to where like we're really fucking screaming, and maybe she's like coming at me with some fists, and I'm pushing away.
Wait, she had Fists of Fury?
Fist of Fury. Oh, that was her move. The Fist of Fury.
Really? Now, did you do the thing where you hold her and try to control her, or do you run? Because I think at this point, with all like the society and everything going, I think if some chick comes at you with like you just got to
Fist
run.
of Fury. You got to run.
You got to run.
Well, she comes. I grabbed her head and I kneed her right in the teeth. No, I just pushed her away. But like technically, both of us were guilty of domestic violence. But but then we got well, that's as far as it went.
Now, how did you guys patch it up though? Is it like a thing where
That could have been a couple days of heat,
of just silence, and then you guys eventually come around?
Awkward silence and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're
Not like I mean, we had one of those arguments in probably decades.
if they that's a domestic, but is it still the case where they take both people to jail? Is that still a thing?
No, I thought it was just somebody's going to jail. If there's a domestic, somebody's
It's a
going
pickle?
to jail.
That's what you tell them. It's a pickle.
Yeah.
It's a domestic.
Whoever
pickle?
lies the best does not go to jail. It's like
So if you rake yourself,
yeah, you go. The other guy, guy's going to jail.
wow.
Whoever's not raked, and that's
And
just the way it is. Because I don't think they have a choice.
The rub is once you get in that says like the domestics and the mug shots and all that stuff. Once you get a mug shot, like it's game over, and the retraction is very small. You know what I mean? Like once you get arrested, like people go, oh, it's look what he did.
Yeah, I mean the retract, like you said, it's so small, and nobody follows up, nobody pays attention, and you're just like, yeah, he's that guy that got arrested for what? Yeah,
Yeah, and
that's the way it is.
the retractions are very small, if ever.
You want to take a break, Matt?
Yeah,
Let's take
sure.
a break in honor of the Matt and Mike show. I'm going to play What's Up With That Shit A-Team.
Oh my God.
One of I used to love to collaborate on the What's Up With That Shit. So I thought it was a great bit. One day, I'm going to get out the mini disc, and I have a What's Up With That Shit that we did. And we were in there. It's like 20-something minutes long. And I don't know if we're high, but we're just making no sense. And we're just saying these god-awful things. And
Very,
it's
very dark.
It's very dark, and we'll have to listen to it together, man.
Great.
All right, so I'll play that real quick. Me and Matt will go take a break. Thanks for tuning into the Mike and Matt show. Yo, what's up, man? It's time for another edition of What's Up With That Shit. Yeah.
Oh.
Man, I need another hit. Hang on. The show where we look at stuff and talk about it.
We analyze stuff.
Yeah, man, we just kind of hang out, get high,
Too late.
and do stuff. I am so fucked up. Turn on the TV, dude. Turn on the TV.
In 1972, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles
tell me
underground.
this is not what I
Today,
think
still
this
wanted by
is.
the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune.
The
If you have a problem,
A-Team.
If no one else can help, and if you can find it,
What's
maybe
up
you
with
can
that
hire
shit?
The A-Team.
This is my favorite show ever.
It's bullshit, man.
No way.
The A-Team is bullshit.
This show kicks ass.
No, turn that shit off.
Had Face Man.
Oh, man. Like those bunch of jokers could pull off anything, man. Okay, we got a national emergency on our hands, man. Should we call the FBI? The CIA? The Navy SEALs?
Man.
Oh, let's call that old white guy. And that fucking black dude with the mohawk. And that crazy dude, yeah, the guy that's insane. Murder! Yeah, that's who we need.
Together, they are separate. Wait, apart, they are separate. Together,
They're assholes, man.
for the asshole team.
Wow, man, like, you know, like if you're sending a mission to China to recover a stolen nuclear warhead, I think a big black guy with a mohawk and 12 pounds of gold chains is the way to go, man.
That's not suspicious at all.
No, very inconspicuous. Oh, big black man. I pity the fool has to go to China with Mr. T. I'm telling you right now. I pity the fool.
Remember he had a cereal?
You ever eat Mr. T cereal?
I pity the fool who ate that cereal.
Was it shaped like a black man?
It was shaped as little T's.
Little mohawks.
I had like Cracker Jack box. When you could find a little prize in the middle, it was a big gold nugget.
You could piece them together, man. Make a gold chain. It was sweet.
I'm gonna be like the old white guy and go smuggle in some illegal Cuban cigars. I don't know. Smoke them. But I'm gonna unroll them and fill them with pot.
Who's that other dude on there? The good-looking dude.
Some
Face.
Face Man.
What do they call him? Face.
Man.
That guy was
He was suave. He
fucking Hardy Boys looking dude, man.
was, he was a pimp, but every time he went to go pick up a lady, he had to pick her up in that big fucking black van, man. That's not cool.
Oh,
You gotta take her in the back of the van to get your groove on. She's tripping over your guns and your missiles, and the old white guy's trying to get it up.
he's in one of those fucking lame disguises, man.
The little Charlie Chaplin disguised the mustache and the big nose.
He was a master of disguise. People walking around. What's up with that old white guy with a wig on, man?
Who is that guy?
I don't know, but he's with a big black guy in a mohawk.
They were on the B team.
Mr. T's back there checking off. Heated face. What's up with that shit?
I pity the poor fool who fucks in front of me.
Murdoch's going insane. Trying to biting her nipples off. Oh, Face, you're so sexy. Give it to me.
Oh, baby.
Come on, hit it, Face. Smack the bitch up.
Who is that back there?
That's my brother.
My brother? Change the channel, dude.
Time to go. Running long as usual. I had 8 more shows I wanted to watch.
I'm down with that.
Oh, let's just burn one.
All right, peace.
Peace out.
The Ned Show is based on Radio Theater of the Mind. No drugs are actually consumed during the broadcast. The drugs not done on this show include marijuana hash oil, tannic, oxycontin, bath salt, spice, PCP, DMT, Molly, and whippets. The white residue on the control board is definitely not cocaine. No animals were harmed during the making of The Ned Show, and in no way was the host intoxicated, medicated, or fully nude at any time. The Ned Show consists of outlandish commentary, ridiculous viewpoints, and hyperbole. All jokes, zingers, barbs, jabs, and put-downs are not meant to be taken seriously because they are jokes. The Ned Show may or may not contain insensitive, offensive, and crude comments on subjects such as race, religion, rape, pedophilia, sexual preference, blasphemy, necrophilia, autism, and bestiality. The use of drugs such as marijuana, cocaine, PCP, special K, meth, crack, acid, mushrooms, or prescription pills is encouraged but not condoned. And if any part of this disclaimer has offended you, then you're a complete douchebag, and you should discontinue listening immediately. Thank you.
What's up? Thanks for tuning into this special edition of the Mike and Matt Show.
Hi, Mike.
You know, I mean, I'm pretty cocky when it comes to my radio ability. I've been to the top of the mountain, and I think we just did the best 47 minutes of radio in Tampa that's been done in about 5 years.
Wow. I like that. 47 minutes. I don't even know how long it was. Just going.
It just go. We just go, man. We just go. Those are the best shows. Usually, I always come in here and I sit in here and I work on a list for the Cluster F Show. Cluster F Show every morning on Twitch at 8 o'clock, 8 to 11 a.m. And the best shows are when the first hour we talk for like an hour and 20 minutes about nothing on the sheet. It's those are the best.
What do you listen to in general? Like, I have a couple people that I watch on YouTube or have some podcasts or something. Like, is there anybody that you enjoy that you go, oh, I like this personality, or like, is there somebody that sticks out in your mind, or do you not really listen?
I don't listen. It's just the way I am. I'm consumed with the show.
Yeah.
My show. And so every day I get on social media and I'm just looking for things for the show. And, I always I need to listen back to my own show and I don't have time. And I'd like to listen to other podcasts, but I was like, I ain't got,
I get it.
I'm working on stuff for Ned's show and for the show, and I just don't listen. I don't listen to nothing. I'm a busy man, Matthew.
Long story short.
I'm a busy man.
Long story short, you're consumed with yourself.
I'm consumed with myself.
I get it. There's not a ton out. I mean, there is a ton out there.
Who's your go-to?
So, all right. I mean, podcast related. Rogan, obviously, right? That's like the go-to. It's a simple answer, but that's the go-to. And then Lex Friedman occasionally. One I really like is the All In podcast, which is more of like financial minded CEO type stuff, of which is high level conversation, but I still like it, right? And then that's
where the only truth you're gonna get is listening to people like that. Because they're just talking about the facts and the economy and what they think's going to happen and what they're doing, and they're smarter than you about the economy.
That's exactly right.
Anybody else, they don't know what they're talking about with the economy.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to take a page out of their book, going, okay, well here's where the shift might be happening. But that's a great podcast. As far as like broadcasters go, I'm still to this day, I would say Anthony Cumia is, from the Opie and Anthony, right? Like him and like McGinnis that he does his show with, I just find them hilarious. Now, it's completely dark a lot of times, and completely like off center, and would probably get you in trouble with people if they knew you. They'd be like, "You listen, it's funny." Like we were talking about earlier, it's just funny. Like there's just certain things.
See, I don't listen to the Compound Media stuff, but I only see him on Twitter. And he's constantly on Twitter saying racist stuff.
Oh my God! He
does not like black people.
He like doubled down, and he was like, "What? Like, I don't know. Whatever more than doubling down would be, would triple down, quadruple, whatever it is that you do." He did it, and he was like, "I'm throwing all my cards out there, and then more cards." But there's no question, where he stands.
He's not quite big enough to be canceled. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, honestly, like, I don't.
Plus, he does his own thing. You can't get canceled when you do your own thing. He's got his Compound Media, his own deal.
See, man, but I watch on YouTube, but I don't know how that's still on YouTube. Like you talk about people getting their accounts taken down or strikes against them and all this stuff. Like that's
YouTube.
I can't believe. I'm glad he is, because I would never find it any other way, honestly. But I'm glad he does. I'm glad it's up there, but I can't believe that it is.
But, he's got his own network. He's got the Compound Media net, and, he's got a lot of shows and a lot of comedians and a lot of different shows. And then on Twitter, I saw Opie. And he what Opie does now is he gets out on his balcony like at 6 o'clock in his Manhattan apartment with a cup of coffee, and he says hi to people. And it's like, it's like...
Interesting approach.
It's horror. It's like... I never listened to Opie and Anthony. It's like, was he ever any good? Was it all Anthony? Because his But stream is the worst. It's horrific.
Well, I guess you have to ask the question of like, is it a gimmick or is that legit his stream or is that like a shtick where
No,
he's
'cause
like
I've
getting
seen-
off on just doing it that way where he's like, yeah, like that's, you know, I mean, people kind of.
I think he's no good. I think he's lame.
I think I remember when Cowhead and I we did mornings at 98 Rock for about 90 days, same as Cash, before we got canceled. Okay.
Yeah. Summarily fired for some reason.
Yeah. Gee, don't know who caused that one.
Who would have caused that?
Yeah, who
It's a
would've-
mystery. It's a real whodunit.
Who would want us to be fired?
Okay.
Give me a break.
Why? For what? Why?
Well,
Okay, go ahead.
regardless,
Regardless.
I did not know who Opie and Anthony were. I've always grown up here. I didn't know that even end of the radio world. Like you knew
Yeah,
Howard,
yeah.
right? But even growing up, I didn't have access to Howard. I never listened to Howard. It wasn't because he wasn't great. It's just there was no access.
Not down here.
Yeah, it just wasn't around. But one morning, like the phone line just started blowing up, and like it was all these pests. Like they called themselves, the Opie and Anthony listeners called themselves pests, and they were just stinging us. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, did we do something? And Cowhead was like, all right, let me sort through it. So, anyways, I think he ended up getting Opie and Anthony on the phone, and they during that same show, and they squashed whatever it was that had happened. But all I know is in that moment in time and that day, the phone lines were, I mean, it was an insane amount of people that were just trolling the crap
Yeah.
out of us for a good 2 hours.
New York City, buddy.
And they weren't messing around. It wasn't these baby trolls on Twitter. Like it wasn't that kind of party. Like it was, but you have to give credit to some of those listeners. But now, like if you move forward and you go back to what that was in radio to now, and you go, why would somebody spend the time doing that? Like, it's one thing if you can call a number real quick and like, you know, get on live and go and hang up. But now, like, they take it to another level, like setting up all these accounts and doing this. Like, it's a lot of work to troll on some level.
Who's got that time?
You got to be
Who's got that
dedicated.
time?
You got to be. That's it. You have to be all in. You have to have nothing else to do, other than except for that. If you really want to be good at it, that has to be your purpose, and that's the part that's weird.
Yeah, I don't even get it. It's like if I, on Twitter, if I spend like a day where I tweet something good or something and get some response, and then I end up, responding to a bunch of people, and then we get some kind of side topic going.
Yeah.
And I'll get, it's like, yeah, I could make, maybe if I did that, but I ain't gonna. That's like once a month, once every 3 months.
It's like a whole thing.
I ain't got no time to sit on Twitter all day, and respond to all these people and try to be witty and clever. I could do it if I had 8 hours a day to do it, but I ain't got. Who's got that time?
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
It's not worth it. What are you doing with your life?
Well, that's I mean, that's also a fair question. Like, I can't, I mean, dude, looking at my phone back in the day when I was active on the stuff, I'm like, going, man, it would go off every, 2 seconds, and then you're looking at it, you're checking in it. And I'm going, man, there's a lot of time and energy spent on that to really do it, and now Twitter's paying people. So if, you can monetize it. So now you're really going to see stuff crank up, I think.
I think I need to go to Twitter. It's more of a free speech deal, maybe.
Maybe.
I was thinking of going to Rumble. It's like, this.
What now? Tell me about. I kind of know. I'm
I don't
kind
know
of
a
familiar
lot.
with it, but I think it's more of like a right.
I think you had to pay
right
to be.
wing.
I think you had to pay to be on Rumble, but it's right wing, and it's pretty much they're not going to censor you. They're like, but say whatever you want to say on
Okay.
Rumble, and change it to Cluster Trump instead of Cluster F, Cluster Trump. Just go in all in on the Trump train, because this middle of the road shit ain't working, man. People don't want to hear middle of the road. They want you to pick A or B, and Trump's a lot of fun, so let's go with Trump.
I mean, it's true. You have to. Yeah.
Let's go with the fun party. I'm just
Okay.
going with the fun, the
Yeah.
comedy, the comedy.
I totally agree, and you're right, because look at right wing and left wing, conservative talk radio versus left-leaning, right? Left-leaning radio was Air America, and they tried to start that network, and it failed miserably in some of the most democratic markets in the country, and it did not really take off, and it went bye-bye. Meanwhile, right-wing radio was like, it's still a party. It's a party.
It is.
So if you look at Rumble or any other right-wing, like that's the way you got to go.
I know. I'm thinking.
You got to dress up like Trump and just get in here and go crazy for 2 hours.
I could do Trump songs all day long. I could,
I believe it.
And it's like, I don't necessarily believe that Donald Trump is for real. I think he could be a big con artist, but you can certainly make the case. I was doing better 2 years ago. My life was better 2 years ago. Well, and it's not better now. And so I'd rather have 2 years ago. Well, how is that? Why is that? I don't give a shit about politics. I just want to go, back to being better.
Oh, dude. And he was steamrolling people before COVID hit. He was steamrolling. And then all of a sudden it was just, like you could hear the screeching of the wheels, right? Just, and then, he wanted to shoot people up with bleach.
Yeah, and then some of the people he would hire, it's like that everything with Rudy Giuliani. It's like, why would you have anything to do? Remember when his hair dye was melting on his face? It's like that. You're done for politically. When the hair dye melts over your eyes, it's like you're done.
The
you're
hair.
Done.
I was watching it live, and I'm just going, "Oh no!" Like this.
It was almost too tragic to be funny.
Yes, because nobody was telling him, like, "Hey, man," nobody, and it's just dripping, and I'm going, and much like probably many other people, many other Americans are going. This guy during 9/11 was like the guy that came, like he was the face of like what a nation's supposed to be to come together, like all that stuff, right? The mayor, this is what you're supposed to do, like everything. Now all you know, he just had some hair dye dripping down, and now he's indicted on RICO.
But how old was Rudy Giuliani back then?
I don't know.
He had to be in his 50s or right around 60.
He looks the same age now.
Say he was 58.
Okay.
That was 20. He's 78. He's a doddering old man. Some people, Trump, whatever your politics are, I think he's 77. He's one of these guys. My mom's 90 years old and she's sharp as a tack. Mm-hmm. My dad had dementia.
Luck of the draw.
But some people are sharp at old age. Trump's sharp, whether you hate him or not. He's like, he can go off the cuff. Not, and he's 77. Some people at 77 are like, what?
Yeah, and it's sad to watch that decline, but then sometimes it's kind of funny to watch that decline, and you're going, whoa, I saw this guy like 10 years. He was super sharp. Now, not so much.
I do, enjoy Joe Biden falling downstairs. And getting lost on stage. I hope everybody does. Can't we unite as a country and enjoy that?
That's the perfect example because literally 10 years ago, you could look at him and he at least had the appearance of having it together, right? Like I don't know when the decline started, but it had to be when he became president, I think, right? Like it was. He did okay in the debates. He was not. He
wasn't great, but he was. He was 78. I think he was 77 or 78 then, and he's either 79 or 80 now. For a dude, that's old as fuck.
That is.
You ever meet? There's very few 80-year-olds you meet who are like sharp as a tack. Not, women. For some reason, women seem sharper than men. When they get older, and you don't see a lot of 80-year-old spry dudes.
I'm literally trying to think of some, and I'm not. I'm drawing a blank. Probably, man. There's. How old is Schwarzenegger now? He's got to be.
Getting up there.
I love playing
late
that.
70s.
I love playing the how old is he game. You ever do that? You're like, how old is that person?
Okay.
What are you guessing? Hold on.
Schwarzenegger.
I don't know how to spell his last name here. Arnold Schwab.
I'm gonna go.
And then you just let Google figure it out.
Are you gonna guess? Did you guess?
No, I'm gonna tell you. You guess.
76.
Man, you were spot on. 76.
Woo!
But 76, he's a guy who, he doesn't speak English very well, but he's
still.
He appears to have it together.
Sharp, still sharp.
Right?
Has it together.
Age. Man, okay. How old's Sly Stallone?
Oh, jeez. He's probably a little pretty close. 77.
What are you cheating over there?
I got go back. Is he really 77? I ruined the whole game.
What are you, the editor of the New York Times crossword puzzle too?
According to my calculations.
You're no fun on this game. You're too good.
Donna hates it. She always asks me to guess stuff, and I guess it. She's like, "Fuck you."
Okay, here's one. Here's one, and this is the perfect example to go along what we're talking about. Bruce Willis has dementia now.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That old. He's,
I don't know why I did that noise.
I know it threw me off. You gotta phone a friend. All right, Bruce Willis.
Yep. Same era of action movies. I mean, think about it.
He's a little younger, isn't he? Okay, I'm gonna go.
He's got that dementia Willis smirk going on.
Oh, Bruce Willis, 69.
No. I mean, you're close. He's 68. I mean,
that's pretty
his birthday's
close.
probably tomorrow or something. And we don't know it. You're probably spot on. But no, then you go down the line. You got, who's Linda Hamilton? Why do I know that
She was
name?
in do you remember the original Terminator movie?
That's her?
She was the mom, the badass mom.
Okay.
With a pistol grip shotgun.
Age? What are you thinking?
Oh shit. Oh. 62.
66.
Oh, okay.
Last one, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, jeez.
That's a tough one.
I don't even remember what era he was in. He was pre.
It was like, was it late 80s?
Oh, it can't be that
into the
old.
90s action movie? Bloodsport had to be 80s, right? Like all
Was
those?
he before or after Arnold? He was before or else concurrent.
That's a good question. Well, hold
But
on.
I can't believe he'd be in his 80s.
If I were to
he could be in his 80s.
Yeah, I couldn't say the era because that would give away the age. How old are you?
I'm old. I'm old.
Is that not a question I'm supposed to ask?
No, I'm 61 years old.
61?
I got the Ronald Reagan hair, though, see.
No, it's beautiful. I was just curious.
I coiffed it extra coiffy today.
It looks,
Because of the Mike and Matt show.
I appreciate that.
So how...
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Did I guess yet?
Not yet.
This is pissing me off. Because he can't be an 8. He can't be 8. I'm going to go 76.
Okay. Jean-Claude Van Damme
Yeah.
is 1 year older than you.
What?
It's 62.
I thought he'd been around for fucking ever.
It feels like he's been around forever, right?
Wow. That blows my mind.
That is crazy. And you and for the
the-
record, you look way better than he does.
I was going to say the ironic thing is I can actually do a split right now on this table, and he can't anymore. But I can.
I would start a hype train to see you do a split on the table right now.
I stretch every day. I just stretch. I work on my core, my back. It's like, man, I ain't going to the doctor for this shit. I'm going to do physical therapy is the only thing that'll ever help you. Don't go to the doctor. Try physical therapy, especially with your back.
I don't know, man. I had
Surgeries.
a buddy did physical therapy, and the therapist was
Ruined
like,
it for life.
well, they go, hey, man, you're doing great. Let's step it up a notch. And he's going, I don't think that I should do this. And they're like, you'll be fine. And then he's completely back to like square one.
Well, it's got a bad physical therapist.
That's
You do it. You just look it up on YouTube and do it yourself.
oh, you're
what I
one of
do.
those guys.
Oh, I'm one of those guys. Yeah,
I get
but
it.
I've been to physical therapy though, but before for various things, and it definitely works. And I don't know of a lot of other shit that work. Like, I was watching this thing. Like, I think I have a torn meniscus, which I had before, and I had it surgically repaired. Now I have it again.
Okay.
And I was watching this one guy, and he said they did a study. He was a surgeon. He's like, we did a study, and we did 100 surgeries on people, and on 50 of them we did a fake surgery.
What the hell?
So I guess they told the people that
A
50
placebo surgery?
Yeah, I know. Where they just cut you open and go ha 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 ha. And they said the results were exactly the same because your meniscus they can't do nothing about it. It's just a surgery to get some money. So just stay off it for a few weeks and you'll be just the same.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, that's what I can't stay off it because I run a farm.
Yeah, you got a whole thing going on.
But
out
if I would go on crutches for like a month, I think it would just go away because it's better now just not running because I quit running, which sucks. But
I had was it? I'm going to say it wrong because I always Palantir's fasciitis.
Plantar
Plantar-
fasciitis. Plantar fasciitis. One of those. One of
I'm an
those.
idiot. Yes, that whatever that was. I had that on the bottom of my feet. Oh my god,
It's bad. No, I've had it twice. It's bad.
I literally thought that was it. I was like, well, wheelchair time. Like that's it for me,
It
guys.
sucks.
It was awful. How long did it take yours to heal?
You see, it takes months and months and months. What happened the last time I had it, which wasn't too long ago, it was like I was just this is how I'm gonna be for the rest of my life. When I walk, it's gonna hurt real bad when I first start, and then
Yes.
I'll just get used to it. And then one day I was just like, when did my foot start? Because I just got used to it, and then it just stopped hurting. Because they say there's no cure for plantar fasciitis.
Yeah.
It's just got to
Time.
You know, that's it. When it finally snaps, they say that when your tendon finally snaps, that's the cure. That's what the doctor told me.
Dude, that's the worst. And the worst part is, but that I don't know about you, but it made me hesitant to like, you know, like not that I was going out to the basketball courts and playing anyways, but it made me hesitant to want to do anything because I don't want it to come back. Like once it finally heals, you're going, oh, thank God. Like I don't want to go back to that pain again.
I think you're better. The best thing anybody can do, be real preachy here, anybody can do for their health is exercise. That's the only one of the only proven things. If you exercise regularly, you're going to live longer and you're going to have less disease and less complications in your life.
Yeah, but isn't it weird when you see those guys who exercise a lot and then they drop dead and you go, whoa, like, and then you got Chris Christie rolling around looking like a slob and
But that, you know,
and he's running for president.
that's genetics. Some people, you could exercise all you want and you're going to drop dead one day. You know, some people can live forever because they were built to live forever.
But it's still disappointing. It's still at the end of it's very disappointing and discouraging to see these, you know, like the in shape person pass away from, you know, a heart attack or whatever.
But here's the good thing. Like what I exercise not to not die, but to not die a horrible death.
Fair.
You know, so if I in a couple 5 years, I just keel over while I'm jogging or riding the bike. Well, that's a good death. It can, these people who waste away, you know, with these diseases. I don't want to die that way. I don't want to have a stroke or a heart attack and be a burden on my family. I just want to, bam. So I'm going to stay as healthy as I can. And if I have,
and then bam,
and I hope I have a brain aneurysm out of the blue.
Well, a buddy of mine, he's a cardiologist, and he told me actually something very similar. He said, "Look," he goes, "the best way you can go, the best way, is a heart attack." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "It's instant." He goes, If you
have the big one,
basically,
if you have the big one,
yeah, if you get the good one, right? Just a good one,
good
right?
one.
The good one, the sweet escape of death, right? He said it's instant. You're gone before you don't know it, right? You're just you're gone. There's no pain. You don't have to sit in the hospital. Like that's it. And I was like, man, that sounds so weird to think about that being a good way to go. But I guess in the grand scheme of things, would you rather that, or would you rather, get shot 7 times and you're laying in a hospital bed for, 3 weeks before you pass?
You get some kind of, you get MS, and you slowly lose control of your body. It's like, you're in your shell. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
I'm looking at Michael J. Fox. I'm going, Jesus Christ. These are things with the aging. Even you going back to like Van Damme and Schwarzenegger and all these guys. Like those are the ones that, and I'm obviously younger than them, but when they pass, that's the stuff that's going to hit me. And I'm going, oh no, Arnold? Not Arnold.
Yeah, it's coming too.
Some
of the people here pass, you're like, what?
Yeah, if Biden, I'd go, Trump, I'd go, huh. Chris Christie, you go,
I go, I look like, he hasn't died yet? Why did he not die yesterday?
Yeah, how come Pat Robertson only died a month ago?
Oh, how old was that?
He was like 90 or something.
So who's the Schwarzenegger of the day? Is it The Rock?
Yeah. The torch got passed to The Rock.
What's his I haven't seen that many Rock movies actually. I've seen a lot of Schwarzenegger movies.
I haven't seen a ton of Rock movies lately either, but I think part of that is because he's The Rock. Like you can't get into a different character. Like he can pretend to be a zookeeper. He could pretend to drive cars 120 miles an hour getting picked on helicopters. Like you can do all these things. You're still The Rock. Like there's no mistaking it.
Yeah.
Like I like watching, like if you see a show on Netflix that's new, right? And you've never seen any of the actors before and you're going, hey, that was a good show. And I don't know who these people are. I don't know where they came from. And I don't know if I'm ever to see them again. But it was believable characters because
You didn't know who they were.
you didn't know who they were. You can't associate them with The Rock. I mean, if The Rock comes out in a wig, you're going to go, hey, that's The Rock in a
Rock.
wig. Like there's...
He's only got one character, really. You know.
It's The
I mean,
Rock.
there was, I can't remember. It was a well-known rapper or group.
I'll know it.
And they wrote The Rock, a part of this rap.
Oh, I don't know it.
And so, you know, I don't know how I came across it, you know, but I found it and I played it and it was like so bad. You know, he's just rapping like The Rock and it's just like so stupid.
Oh, wait, he's actually rapping.
Yeah, they
in
wrote
the
him a
song.
rap in the song.
Oh,
It
so
was
he's
just
spitting some bars?
God awful. Just embarrassing.
Not as bad as the Hogan's. Was it the Hulkster in Heaven?
Hulkster in Heaven.
Oh my God!
What is that?
He some terrible
Oh, it sounds so familiar.
song he wrote for some kid who was dying, or he played like.
Did we ever play this on the old show?
Oh, yeah,
Did
yeah.
I not? How did I not do a bit on Hulkster in Heaven?
I think we had to put it over because the situation.
I had to put it over.
Think we had to sell it.
Hulkster in Heaven.
Have you ever heard Yoko Ono?
She's just screaming.
It's. I was
Hulkster in Heaven. Have to look that up later.
Hulkster in Heaven and Yoko Ono, same footing.
Hulkster in Heaven.
I mean, I don't know what your capabilities. If you, it's
I mean, I can find Hulkster.
at the risk of me ruining my algorithm with that crap.
Hulkster in
Are you gonna look it up?
Oh, wait a second. Hulkster in Heaven. That's all I needed to hear was the first 4 seconds.
The trumpet needs to be a little bit. Imagine being the trumpet guy for this. Hey, we got this gig. We need you to do a trumpet solo for Hulkster in Heaven. I'm sorry. Okay, play.
I've got just the thing for you.
I read it in the papers.
I want to think Macho Man's playing that trumpet.
I read it
In the papers.
I saw it on TV. I guess it'll be one empty seat when I wrestle at Wembley. I used to tear my shirt,
I remember it now. I remember it now.
shirt.
but now you tore my heart.
It's such a lovely, soft voice, Matt.
I mean, it's.
I knew you were a Hulk maniac right from the very start.
You know the words. Roses are red.
You know,
and violets are blue.
there's so many cheesy songs that you can hear the first time and finish the lines for them, and it's
So many.
how you know it's cheesy. Oh, listen to the sisters coming in the background. The sisters come in.
Right from the very start.
Right from the start, you were my friend.
I'll see
This
you
is not the
again
end.
when the holster comes to heaven.
Oh God. Oh.
We'll tag up again.
What was the reason for this?
I think a kid passed away or something, and he wrote the kid a song, or it could just be a lie. Like I don't
Sure it's a
really.
lie,
You know?
It's just
Maybe
a-
he just wanted to cut an
I
album.
think it's just an album cut.
Hold on, okay, let me see. Yoko.
Yeah, oh my God.
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know. Is that me playing it, or is it? That's me. Okay.
That's you.
Never mind. Yeah, this
You
is
know,
a
there
whole,
was
a
a-
whole thing.
I saw a clip, and it's John Lennon, and he's playing with some black guy, and it's like a
Jesus.
it's some 60s, so it's his song. It's the black guy's song.
Okay.
And Yoko Ono is also on stage, and they turn down her mic because she's going, you know, she's ruining she's ruining the song, and they just pot her down because John Lennon's trying to jam with the guy and have a good time. She's you know.
It's
It's like that sounded just like the voice I used to use for Heather in bits.
yes.
You give me the better of me. Give me the better of me.
Yeah, it's a rib. Oh my god. Oh, heaven.
T Quest Mark says, still hate Bubba. I missed the first hour. I'm still on the fence after 10 years. I still listen to Bubba. You guys together, best theater of the mind in radio. It was the best. I mean, that show, I never questioned how good that show was. That show was, when we were good, look, there, some days we weren't good, but when we were good, when we had a great show, there weren't a lot of people that could beat us at all. I don't think anybody could beat us when we were on our game.
Yeah, I think last time we chatted on this forum, I think I may have mentioned it. Like we were doing, what was it? So 8 hours a day.
8 hours a day.
What's 8 times? 40 hours a week. Okay,
Yeah.
Not counting prep time, not counting outside activity, not counting all the other stuff that comes along with it. Right.
Well, plus we were there from 5 a.m. till 8 p.m.
Right.
So it was a
14-hour.
6-hour day.
Yeah, so and you're not meant to get inside somebody's head for that long, for that extended period of time. Like it's not, and I
Every
didn't know it
day.
at the time, but you couldn't do anything about it. It's just the way the situation was, which was an okay situation. Like I get it, but you're not supposed to be in that person's head or around people like that in that way for that many hours a day.
It's not like a regular job. I mean, you're up close and personal with your, you spend more in-depth time with the people in a radio morning show room than you do with your family.
It is
just talking.
It is a psychological. It's psychological warfare, torture, and joy all at the same time. Like there's a lot of different things that happen there. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, but I kind of forgot.
That's the most genuine I forgot.
I've been doing good, man. I like
You just fell down the Air Force One stairs.
it was like
Oh my God.
It was like rolling all this time, and then all of a sudden I was looking at the chat, and I was like, "What was I gonna say?
I'm looking
What
at-
are we? I don't even know what he's talking about
I'm
right
looking
now."
at you, and you're looking at me, and I'm like, Here's the psychological aspect of being too close to people in the studio for too long.
Oops. But we did 8 hours a day for like a year. I think we did a year, and then we were like, "No, we ain't doing this." But we did great shows both, in the morning, and we come back and do a great show in the evening.
It was crazy.
And there's not a lot of people that can do that.
I would go. This is when I had it was BlackBerry, right? You had a BlackBerry.
Yeah.
You didn't have I had a So I think it was Sirius that actually bought us a Blackberries, right? So, and so I'd get up at 3:15, I think.
Yeah.
I'd be to work by 4, prep, do the whole thing, and then in between shows, go to the gym, and I'm on my BlackBerry, emailing people back, blah, 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 all the stuff, right? Then second show, then I'd go home. I'd maybe go to Hooters and grab some wings and just to literally decompress from the day. And I'm at the restaurant, and all I'm doing is emails. I'm typing on that BlackBerry. All your thumbs are sore, right? I'm literally pumping out. It felt like 200, 250 emails a day to people, just whether it's booking guests or responding to people's questions, all the stuff, right? And then years later, you go back, right? And not like, but 5 people maybe have like reached out. You know what I mean? Like instead it's all like F you, like I'm the one who took time to respond to people. Like I would make it a point to respond to people, and other people on the show would not. Let's just put it that way, right? And they'd be like, the other producer hasn't responded to me on this, and I'm like, okay. And,
I mean,
you know,
I think you were the default producer.
oh my god.
And you like if anybody really cool was coming in, it was generally, like especially like a musical act, it was somebody that you brought in.
Yeah, which is very difficult to do a lot of the times, and you'd think it would be easy, right? But it's not, because if you're a band and you're getting off stage at 11 or midnight, something like that, and your bus call is at 2 a.m. and then somebody goes, "Hey, we want to see you bright and early at 7 a.m. To get that perfect thing." And then the other situation was, okay, well, maybe they were performing that night, but then you got to convince them to wake up early in the morning. And, we weren't a Stern, right? We weren't in New York. We're not located in a major metropolis per se, right? It's like, well, where do you need us? Well, we're off this back alley road, and you'll come across this gate. Now, call us when you get to the gate. I'll come out and meet you. Well, where do we park the bus? Well, we don't really have bus parking, but you can kind of pull it along the side of the grass line. Like, there was a lot of like logistics involved.
Tiny little studio.
And nobody would understand those logistics. But yeah, booking, I mean.
With some great acts in there, though. With some great acts.
And I would have to convince, I would have to pitch them all and be like, I know you're not familiar with them, but I think they'll be good. Like, it was always that kind of thing. And then the whole time I'm in there, I'm white knuckling it because I'm going, I hope nothing messes this up, right? Because then you've got relationships with the labels and all these PR agencies. And if you mess up one, that's what people don't get. Like, if you mess up one of those interviews,
they don't want to use you again.
They don't want to use you, and they're sure as hell not going to tell their other artists or
blacklisted.
And it's like, you wonder why you get blacklisted. Well, don't ask her how many D's she's S'd in the last year. Like, those are simple. You know what I'm saying? Like, and furthermore, what gives you? I felt like this too when I would interview people. Like, came a point where it's like, what gives me the right to ask that question, right? Like, you can ask somebody anything you want, but like, why? What gives you the right to ask
certain questions? You mean?
Right. If somebody was at Applebee's or whatever, would you walk up to that person and go, "Hey man, what's that?" Like, you wouldn't ask a crude, invasive question, right? There's a certain decorum, and even if you're in that environment, even if you know what you're walking into, you still don't necessarily have the right to ask some of the questions. Like, you can, but don't be surprised when it blows back.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, I don't think we had a lot of that on the old show. I think a lot of people got pissed off.
They did.
They did?
Oh,
who's the top pissed off people who got pissed off?
The Rock would be one of them.
He was out on the phone. The Rock never came in the studio. Did
No, I was on the phone. But you'd do these phone interviews so that for those that don't know, you'd line up a guest, 7:50, 7:45, press calls into the warm line, says, "Hey, we've got them lined up. They'll be on the line in a minute." And, more often than not, they'd either prep you and say, "Hey, look, here's the questions to stay away from, or here's topics we wanted to hit on." Bullet points, right? And then the problem is, the first question out of the box would be the very thing that they didn't want, the top thing that they didn't want you to touch on. Yeah. And it's like, and then they'd hang up, and then of course you'd make them look like the bad guy for 9 days. Go, can't believe they hung up on me. Like, what did you expect to happen? And then, how come we can't get guests? It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah. Who's the guy? The guy lead singer from Stained was in there. And he went.
Aaron Lewis.
And he went country. Were you there when that happened?
No.
I mean, it wasn't.
He's a great singer, though. I know.
And the interview is about 5 minutes in the interview, and I'm like sitting there going, "This guy's leaving. This guy hates him. He hates him." But then in the end, they were fast friends. That's how it usually works.
That can happen. Yeah. That's the difference between in studio versus
phone.
and having only 7 minutes
Yeah.
of an interview to weave this web of going in and out.
Because he's in person, he's just got the charisma.
There's a sociopathic charm there.
Sociopathic charm.
Yeah, yeah. And keep in mind, I'm not even I'm not coming at this from any sort of hatred angle, nothing. I haven't dealt with that world and that orbit in a very long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, from just an overall perspective, and again, it's not a positive or negative. It's just there's a certain personality type, and that's a sociopathic charm.
I don't. Of course, I think about it occasionally because that was my career for so long. I just kind of, and I'm just like, I mean, I don't really give a shit. I'm not a grudge holder like a lot of people are, and I'm just like, why'd you have to fuck it up like that?
What'd you do that for?
Why'd you gotta fuck it up like that? And if people hate me because I'm like, why you gotta fuck it up like that? It was you had it on a silver platter. You had the talent. You had the tools. You had the supporting staff. You had everything on a silver platter. And you're like, get that platter out of here.
Yeah.
I never got that. I think some people, they can't stand the status quo. They got to make something happen. I got to piss somebody off. I got to make somebody mad. I got to get some drama going here.
Yeah, that's also what makes people there's that certain, again, personality type. That's what makes them tick. That's when they're performing at their peak.
I think so. Yeah.
You're again, it goes back to dedication. You're living the gimmick, and there's no off the clock time, right? You've got to be dedicated, and but that's when, again, this is like right now, last week was spring training. Now he's season. Now the season is starting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's going to be a long season.
It's going to be a long season. But the season has started.
Long, hot season.
Now, whether whoever makes the playoffs, I don't know.
It's anybody's guess.
But I don't have anything to do with any of it. So, whatever.
I'm almost thinking we should wrap it up. I mean, we just
people bored. You bored?
No. I'm just thinking. I always leave them wanting more.
Oh.
I think we go. Let's see how
we gonna do it again.
I'm to do enjoyable, great content. I'm available 24/7, Matt.
Well, I don't know if people are enjoying it or not. And I don't know what because you're looking at chat. I don't know anything about anything.
Oh, they say. I mean, it's been nothing but you guys fucking suck for 2 hours.
Oh.
No, it's I don't have time. I haven't been looking at chat. It's hard to look at chat.
I mean, if people were,
I have it. My head just stays like this, from looking at chat during the show.
Yeah.
I'll do it record a show for the VIP where there's no chat at all, and I'm like this the whole time. It's it's a mental illness.
See, I
from
like
chat.
See, I don't like the idea. I like the. I told you this earlier. I don't like the instant feedback loop, and I get there's a need for it, but I also feel like that can be a barrier to enjoying one another's company, so to speak.
On the old show, I think like the chat. There came a time, I guess the show, the show was good in all reiterations.
What chat are you talking about? Are you talking about the chat?
I'm talking about the Twitch chat. I'm talking about the Twitch chat.
Oh, okay. All right. So
we went to Twitch, and with Shannon and 25, it was it's a good show.
Mm-hmm.
With Trace and Tuttle in there, it was a good show. But the chat just motherfucking you, and you just can't help but read. You're there, and a lot of times you're kind of bored, and so you're reading the chat, and they're just telling you how the show fucking sucks donkeys, and it just brings you down to zero. And that would be every day. With some real cocksuckers, my chat, and we don't have any cocksuckers.
Well, that's good.
If you're a cocksucker, we'll get rid of you. If you're a cocksucker, I don't want your money. It's if you got a constructive criticism, I don't, but if you're whatever, you like to jab, you're funny.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. But if you're just a cocksucker, get out of here. But we had some cocksuckers, and you'd read them every day and go, man, I don't want to do my job anymore because they say we suck so bad.
Demoralizing. Yeah, I like the idea of just if you're gonna have chat, get them involved in. Okay, for instance, when we're talking about how old stupid people are, right? Or like who's 80 and has dementia. Like that's the stuff that I look at with something like that. Like bring value. Like who can you think of? Like interactive in a positive way, or like adding something in conversation instead of like there's a difference there.
When we do Cluster F every morning from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock, when we do Cluster F, I only read like funny comments, and that's most of our comments are. They're just, they're in the conversation with us.
Right.
And I'm cool with that.
And that's important to have.
They're not telling how shitty we are every day. It's like, who wants to hear that?
Yeah.
I guess some people, it's enjoy. I mean, I would like if I, give me a handle and put me in the chat for that show, I could have some fun.
Oh my God.
I'm sure I'd get banned immediately, but boy, I could really make some comedy there. I did it for 20 years, man.
Okay, here's the question. Who are mods? Like, who are the mods, and how does that work? Like, how do you find a mod? Is a mod, are they getting paid? Or
no,
they just...
a mod is generally someone in your chat who you, like, designate to be a mod, and they control, you tell them what you don't want, and they can control the chat a little bit.
And then if they don't do their job, then they get in trouble for a job they're not getting paid to do?
Yeah, and then they become a troll. That's how it works.
And the cycle
that's how it works.
continues. I see.
It's not like it used to be.
I see.
Back in the days, old days in radio on Sirius, and they had this. What was it? The Stern Fan Network.
Yes, SFN.
So while you were,
he had it shut down.
Did he? While we were broadcasting live on Sirius, you could go to the Stern Fan Network and see people telling you how bad you sucked.
That's right, the live listening thread.
And I would do that, and I'd have a bit, and you guys would like the bit, and then I'd go, well, let's see what Stern Fan Network says, and people say, oh, they like the bit, and then one guy would say that was the stupidest fucking bit in the world, and then when I'm driving home, that's all I think about is the one guy who said it was terrible.
Yeah, you got deflated from
so
the
I
one
just
guy.
I just stopped. I finally just stopped and said I'm not looking at Stern Fan Network because it just it doesn't matter how many good compliments you get. When one guy says you suck, that's what you think about.
Dude, that place was brutal. It
was brutal.
That was. There was also, and before, because you all had joined Sirius, I think I had joined back with the show 3 months or 5 months after you guys had been on Sirius, because Coward and I had gotten fired.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. And when I got there was a guy named Jaeger who was working there.
Sounds familiar.
Well, he was a troll who all he did was mother F me like for months, and I'm going, no, I was there for a few months and then we hired Jaeger on. Okay. And I was like, wait a second. So now I got to be, and I finally asked him, I go, what's your deal? He's like, well, nothing now. I mean, I understand you're a nice guy. And, he goes, I just didn't know who you were and the voice and trying to figure it all out. And he goes, so I basically hated on you for a very long time. And then we got along great, right? But it was that understanding of going, who are you and why are you here and why did you do this? Right. And then
because he was told, and as soon as you're part of the fold again, you're A-okay.
Yeah. It was a very weird thing. But it
was a weird. I mean, if you just had a reality show about that show and the actual things that went on behind, insane.
Maybe that'll maybe another episode. I don't know. Well, I don't know.
It's I mean, it's hard not to get into it sometimes because talking, it's a huge part of my life, 20 something years of my life, and did things that I never imagined I'd do, and had successes and crazy times and saw things and saw shady things and unexplained flameouts and the event, and then eventually it's like, how did we end up here? What?
It is a crazy trip.
What?
And you're right. I mean, look, I know there's been documentaries made on other things, but there is a lot of source material there, and then there's also source material on goddamn, the DUI setup. I mean, if you're really talking about
it's insane
case of a crazy honey trap where there's all these different things going on, and it's
and they think they're going to get away with it. They closed. They had a whole law firm closed down, and can you? I've never heard of that in my life. An entire law firm. They went, you have to close down. You're all done because of that. I mean, they thought it was work. They thought it would work.
And then to come back.
Take another bite of the apple. That rotten apple.
I don't know.
It's crazy.
It
was a zany, crazy.
It's nuts, and I want nothing to do with it. I don't want anything to do with my orbit. I don't know about you. I try to keep the vibes. I know it sounds so trite, right? Like positive vibes. Like I just, man. You know,
any day
you have to, because if you go back to that,
any day without brain cancer is a good day, man. That's kind of my deal. If you're not going to the hospital, what are you complaining about? Really, you ever been sick? Ever been impaired? You ever not have the use of your limbs? Ever have plantar fasciitis?
I'm worried about my hearing.
Years of headphones at full volume.
Yes, I'm worried about.
See, I do it, and I still got the hearing.
So you think you just always got headphones on? You know?
Cranked up to 10. To 10, I ain't hearing shit. If I go to a restaurant, I don't hear a lot. People are talking. I'm like, it's so loud. I can't hear these people I'm trying to talk to.
I'm looking at all these deaf people and going, sign language. All right, how difficult is that to learn? And then I'm going, that seems like a crazy difficult thing to learn.
Fuck that.
There's no way.
Why there's only like 20 people to do it in the entire country.
And I'm thinking maybe I'll just pretend to do this stuff. And
remember that one lady who was like faking it?
Oh, pretend.
It was like a serial killer press con. He was like, we caught the serial killer. And she's like going, just making shit up.
And first of all, it was believable looking. Even on replay, I could get it.
It's more believable than some of these real people who are just like going. They over.
They're overselling it.
I guess they gotta oversell it.
You ever seen the ones doing the rap concerts, like Eminem concert, and they're on the side there,
but they gotta really
trying to keep up. Like that's a task right there.
That's a task.
That's
a lot of words.
That is a lot of words. All right.
Well, thanks for coming by, Matt.
Thanks for having me.
I had a good time. Hope you guys enjoyed the Mike and Matt show, and we'll probably do it again sometime. We've been having quite a
jovial time.
Quite a jovial time. Thanks. It's been enjoyable reconnecting. For some reason, in my back of my mind, I think this is some kind of long Matt Lloyd con. And you're trying to get back at me for something because I know you carry grudges. I know you carry a grudge like a motherfucker. And somehow this is some long con, and I don't understand it. I've got my eyes on you, Matt.
I mean, how do you?
No,
I can't respond to that.
I'm just fucking with you.
I mean, I could get where you're coming from because it is an unexpected thing.
It was
kind
of out of the blue.
Kind of
out of the blue.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, how? But then in my mind, I'm going. He's going to think this is some sort of long con. So I get it.
I sniffed it out.
Yeah, but the problem is I just, I live close to you and I don't have anybody to talk to. So here we are.
Here we go.
Here we are.
It's just like when you've done this for your career, we used to do shows and have a great chemistry. You kind of crave that product, that content that you can make.
Yes.
It's like if some people paint for fun. I do this for fun.
This is
fun for me.
This is the most fun I've had in a very long time.
All right. Well, hey, man, thanks everybody for tuning in. We had a great time, and we'll be doing it again. And what's today? I don't even know what the day is. Wednesday? Hey, Matt doesn't know either.
No, Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Okay. So I keep telling people to listen to Cluster. We take Wednesdays off.
Oh, my God.
Every day, except for Wednesday.
Hence Cluster F.
Look, man, you don't know how to grind when you've got 4 people, and everybody's got different jobs and stuff. It's like, we were doing 5 days a week.
Oh, my God.
And eventually I was just like, no. It's like, this is just, I'm asking too much of people.
So you're on, you take which day off?
Wednesday,
Okay.
Probably not the greatest day to take off right in the middle of the week, but we do Mondays, Tuesday, take Wednesday off, then we come back on Thursdays, and then Ned does a show on Fridays, and we do a Friday night bar show where we drink and frolic.
Oh, that's cool. So, in here?
In here. We used to do it at the bar in there. But that got to be a pain because you can't hear as good, because you got to have a different setup. You got
Okay.
to have one of those, like a Yeti mic.
Yes.
And it's just, and it's echoey. So we just moved in. We can drink in here. We drink in here. You have to come by sometime on Friday night.
That'd be fun. man.
Bring Tasha or whatever you want.
Yeah,
to
that'd be
do.
great, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks,
You
man.
sound like you're writing me. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Friday night. I'll see you here. Yeah.
Anytime.
I'm
All right.
I'm kidding. Yeah.
All right, thanks for tuning in. So we'll be back Thursday morning, 8 o'clock for Cluster F. And thanks for tuning into the Mike and Matt Show. Appreciate it.